A few hours ago, the OpenCore team released a brand new beta for their upcoming OpenCore Legacy Patcher version 3.0.0, which adds support for macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs. This beta has arrived after a very long gap. The previous beta was released on July 21st. And now, months later, we finally have two new beta versions available. There are several reasons for this long delay, mainly due to the challenges with T2 chip models. One of the main developers, Mykola, has now joined Apple's bug bounty team, which also contributed to the delay. Besides the T2 chip, there were many other challenges, which the OpenCore team has detailed on their page. We've also made a dedicated video covering these challenges. You can find the link in the description. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to break down what's new in these betas, what changes and improvements you can expect, and what this means for your unsupported Mac. Plus, I'll also install this new beta on my unsupported Mac running macOS Tahoe, and we'll test together what is working, what isn't, and whether this beta is stable enough to install macOS Tahoe on an unsupported Mac, or if you should wait. So, let's get started. Let's talk about the first beta, which includes the update labeled Minor UI Refresh. Now, this refresh is mainly focused on the OpenCore Legacy Patcher app interface. When you open the latest 3.0.0 beta, the very first thing you'll notice is a completely cleaner and more organized main window. You'll now see a bigger and much clearer OpenCore icon, giving the app a more polished and modern look. Beneath the icon, you'll find the full name OpenCore Legacy Patcher displayed cleanly. The version number of the beta is now shown bold and centered, making it easy to identify exactly which build you're using. Directly below that, you will see your Mac's model identifier, clearly displayed, which was not as prominent in the older versions. These are the major visible UI changes you'll notice immediately after opening the new beta. There are a few other minor adjustments made under the hood, but visually, these are the big improvements. If I show you a side-by-side comparison between the current stable version 2.4.1 and this new 3.0.0 beta, so you'll clearly see how the interface has changed, how the new window looks, and how it compares to the older stable build. This will help you understand exactly what the minor UI refresh is all about. Now, let's talk about the second beta update. You might have seen the commit message. Merge remote tracking branch origin main into macOS Next. It sounds complicated, but it's actually simple. Basically, the developers just merged the latest changes from the main branch into a branch called macOS Next, which is 3.0.0. This branch is where they prepare future updates, patches, and compatibility fixes for upcoming macOS versions. This second beta is mostly about behind-the-scenes improvements rather than big new features. It includes updates for macOS compatibility and improvements. So in short, this merge shows that the team is actively getting everything ready for the next stage of macOS support and polishing things to make sure it runs smoothly on unsupported Macs. So in simple words, first beta focused on UI improvements, and the other focused on upcoming macOS compatibility and internal syncing. Now, let's go ahead and install this latest beta on my Mac. There are a few important things to keep in mind. Betas can have bugs or missing features, and sometimes using them may cause your Mac to become unresponsive or even prevent it from booting. That's why it's always safer to use betas on a secondary Mac. Before installing any beta, make sure to do your research, check my channel or other trusted sources to see if this beta is actually stable and useful. Only after confirming this should you proceed. If you see multiple beta versions on the GitHub page, make sure to pick the one at the top labeled macOS Next, as that's the version you should use. Beta versions expire after some time, so if you plan to use them later, download the installer and save it safely. Otherwise, it may no longer be available when you come back, and you might see an expired label in front of it. Finally, to download the OpenCore Legacy Patcher beta, you'll need to sign into GitHub first. After signing in, you can easily download OpenCore 3.0.0 beta. Let me show you exactly what has changed in macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs after installing this new beta. After installing the OpenCore 3.0.0 beta, Wi-Fi is still not working on most unsupported Macs. Bluetooth works on many models. If you want to use the internet, you can connect through Thunderbolt Ethernet, because Thunderbolt is functioning on many unsupported Macs. Most USB ports are also working fine. But graphics acceleration remains unavailable, which means the system still feels slow and not visually smooth. Overall, your Mac will not be fully functional with this beta. Without Wi-Fi, without graphics acceleration, and with several features still missing, this version is not suitable for daily use. The good news is that the OpenCore team has made significant progress. In the beginning, we didn't even have USB, Bluetooth, or audio working at all. Now, things are improving step by step. And hopefully, based on their recent updates, we may finally see a fully working macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs sometime in December or early January. So stay tuned.